Hello and welcome to the Tongues of the Trees channel. I'm Elizabeth Ashley, the Secret Healer, and I understand that you want to know, what is geranium essential oil used for? Well, you've come to the right place. I am a professional aromatherapist with nearly 30 years experience, and I am the author of the Secret Healer series of essential oil manuals, of which there are 20, and the co-creator of the Tongue in the Trees cards. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the physical medicine of geranium essential oil, because geranium's it's a wonderful oil. In fact, people always say, if you could only have one essential oil with you on a desert island, what would it be? Mine would be geranium. It's so many oils, so many uses. And so we could talk all day about that. So I'm going to concentrate in this video about the physical effects of that. So what do I mean by that? I mean how it affects our body. Yeah. However, if you feel you want to take it deeper, if you stay with me to the end of the video, I will tell you how to access another video that we've made, which goes much more deeply into the emotional, spiritual and mental aspects, as well as other stuff that I'll tell you about in a minute, and that's completely free, but it's just a space to be able to go more deeply and learn how to use the essential oil better. So, physical properties then of geranium. I'm going to take it from my book here because I'm that lazy. So, the most useful thing that geranium can do is balance the hormones, and so as a woman I find that incredibly helpful. I did when I had my periods, I do while I'm going through menopause, but also it's useful for men too. You know, if there's times where sexuality is off or other kinds of hormonal imbalances, this is a fantastic oil. And actually, if you look at the card that we made, incidentally, I am not responsible for the magnificent artwork. I wrote the poems that go with these that talk as if the oil is speaking to you. But you can see there's a key word, and that's the theme of the oil, which is equilibrium. So balance, hormonal balance, but also emotional balance. And we'll talk much more about the emotional sides, but depression. You know, if somebody's suffering from depression, it would be one of the first oils that I would do, because we can see that neurotransmission. I'm not somebody who leaps on neurotransmission as, oh, we need to medicate normal, if you like. There's nothing wrong with being sad. There's nothing wrong with being frightened. But if it becomes a chemical situation where it's out of control, then the geranium can help to balance the neurotransmission out, and so we see depression starting to lift. Now, one of the most important things I feel about geranium, I'm a bath girl. You know how like people are separated into cat people and dog people, and then they're in the bath and shower people. I'm a bath girl. I love my baths. Geranium in the bath makes the world lift away. And especially if you have got worries on your mind, but particularly money worries, I find they kind of just go, oh, face that tomorrow. And you go, oh. It's really powerful oil that way. And I mean, there's a danger of thinking that it's poor man's rose or poor woman's rose, because the properties are similar, and as you go more in depth into the especially the energetics, which we will talk about at in a different video, if you go into the energetics of geranium, they're very similar. to Rose, but stealing something from how good geranium is. It is cheap. It is really cheap in comparison to what you're going to have to pay for Rose, but it's so powerful, and gorgeous smelling. I mean, there's a lot of oils in especially on there. I inherited a box of hazardous oils that do all magical things, but I go, I don't like the smell of that, don't like the smell of that. Oh, geranium's beautiful, absolutely beautiful, and one of my favourite flowers too. What else have I put? Nervous tension. I think we probably covered that. We will definitely cover that more in the other video. Circulation, very important. If you have got cold feet, cold hands, then a bit of geranium and ginger just to warm it up. It is very good for the circulation. But also, if there's sort of compacted circulation, what I find that geranium does is bring the circulation to the top of the skin, if that makes sense. And then that's not a scientific thing, that's just what you see. So if you use geranium on very pale skin, you get a lovely dewy sort of rosy glow. But in the same way, if you've got somebody who's got rosacea or very red skin, you'll see it draw away from the skin, so it calms it down. I have geranium in my blend because I can get very reactive skin. On that note, it's superb for eczema, any kind of skin conditions, and you know, it's a funny oil because people with eczema can react to the geranium plant, and yet it seems to do the opposite when you're working with eczema. It's very calming. And we talked about how it's nervous tension. It's a tremendous support for the adrenal glands. If you are in a stressful situation and adrenaline is running all of the time, then you put extra pressure on the adrenals to secrete hormones. They need to get their power from somewhere. After a while they start to wane and they draw from the liver. The liver then becomes dysfunctional and toxic. You get non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, and then you see skin conditions. So at what point did that geranium do its job? Did it do it for the nervous tension? Did it do it for the adrenal support? Did it do it for the skin conditions? Very hard to know. All of those, at any point in that cycle, the geranium could help. We talked about circulatory. In the same way, it's very good for hemorrhoid problems, and also varicose veins as well. I would use it for that. Incidentally, over varicose veins in particular, one would not massage. That would be contraindicated. So how do you use that? Well, if you pop over to the other video, we'll go more in depth into that, into how you can, we'll give you some ways to access recipes to be able to show you how to make something for hemorrhoids. Not so easy to do if you can't massage, and varicose veins likewise. Prostate problems, don't know. That's what all the textbooks tell me. I wouldn't know where to start, if I'm honest. But if you have got problems with the prostate and you were looking for an essential oil, I would try geranium and I would try cypress. Dry skin and broken capillaries, the very best oil for beautiful skin is rose, but geranium comes a really close second. And if you have, you know, like sometimes you can get like broken capillaries over here and you can see the veins split. Geranium's fantastic for that. Now I have to say, I don't know if you can see, I did have some earlier, late last year, and the geranium has completely eradicated them. If you take like blood thinning medication, that can happen a lot. you know, a sort of warfarin and stuff like that. So I would definitely recommend getting geranium to be able to just keep on top of that. And as I say, in the other video, we will talk about how we can use that. So that's a fair few for you to go on. But over and above the physical medicine, I think geranium's emotional and psychological medicine is so important. So in the other video, we'll talk about that. We will talk about safety. You know when you get a leaflet out from the doctor's pills and it goes, it's that long, and it goes, don't use it if you've got this condition, don't use it if you take this medication, don't, make sure your poo doesn't go blue, or whatever. All of that's in there. And some pages on the internet make it look like there are no side effects for essential oils. Guys, that's just not the case. That's dangerous misinformation. And so in the other video, we'll go really in depth in some essential oils can't be used with certain drugs. Some essential oils should be avoided with certain conditions. Some essential oils should be avoided in pregnancy. So that's what we look at is, can you use essential oil in pregnancy? Can you use it in breastfeeding? Can you use geranium essential oil around your cats? Can you use it around your dogs? What's the maximum dilution? At what point does it stop being safe to use it? And then something really lovely, because that's quite scientific, isn't it? Gegle Halodi, who is a Hungarian aromatherapist and my co-creator for these cards. I didn't do the artwork. Isn't it magnificent? He is extraordinary at blending. And so when I was writing the notes, I went physical, medicine, emotion, spiritual, blah, 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 safety, done, blending, just left it blank. So you're not going to get my rubbish blending notes, you'll get blending notes from a master. And if you don't tune in for anything else, then it's worth joining in for that. Now, just to stress, the video is completely free. It's only because I wanted to keep it really narrow in this video so that I answered your question. But if you want to learn everything there is to know about a geranium essential oil, or if you are selling doTERRA geranium essential oil or Young Living geranium essential oil, and you think, well, I would like to know how to sell that better, come over. We're going to talk about all the aspects of safety, but also how all the different ways that it can be useful to somebody. When you get there, so I will show you 4 things really. I will show you how to get this book for free. More importantly, we'll talk much more in depth about these cards, and I will tell you how to go and buy them if you want to. I will also tell you the distributor that we have chosen to distribute our cards, but also who are stocking delicious essential oils. So if you wanted to get the cards and you wanted to get the geranium essential oil, then they can send them together for you. That is a very useful thing. Yeah, I was thinking there was something else I was going to tell you, but maybe there's not. Oh yes, I know. And then how to access recipes. You know, some of these conditions we've talked about, you might go, well, okay, I know I've got to use geranium essential oil for hemorrhoids, but how? So I made you some videos as well to show you how to make those recipes. What would we blend them with? What are the best oils to get the very best treatment for hemorrhoids, etc. So all of that is in the next video. Now, I am a big believer that if you want to know something, you go to an expert. So I'm very pleased that you chose to listen to the end of the video for me. I can do aromatherapy. Well, and if you do want to go, by the way, the link is just below in the description. But there are 56 of these cards, so there's going to be 56 videos at least. And if you're interested in knowing how to subscribe and to get notifications when Gerglay or I upload more content, then I'm not the person to ask. So I'm going to put you across to a YouTube expert, 10-year-old Dexter Stars, my little boy, who will tell you how to get notifications, etc. In the meantime, click the link below, just at the top of the description, and that will take you to a much better lecture with all of the details that we've talked to you about what is geranium essential oil used for. So, thank you. See you on the other side.
So, I'm going to teach you how to like, comment, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. So, you get your phone, you turn it this way up, and then there's a little red subscribe button. Turn it grey by clicking it, and then there's a little bell. Click that and press all at the bottom of your phone or tablet or computer. It will say you will receive all notifications, and then there's a little hand with a thumbs up. Click that, it'll turn it blue and it says added to your liked videos, and there will be comments, and if you want to, you can send a comment and say like hi's to Mum and Gerglay, and then the link to the next video will be in the description below underneath the video. So bye.